My name is not Pepe Sombrero. My name is Mundo. And if you turn to the last page of your catalog, you will see me there. I am one of the volunteers. There's over 50 of us here today. And everyone that is connected with this ministry, whether it's one of the helpers, one of the speakers, we are all volunteer. No one gets paid. See, and I'm going to tell you why do I volunteer my time on Saturday, and why do I give my time to SOAR ministry. About 4 conferences ago, Lulu, as my wife, she kept bugging me that I should come and help Paul. And I really did not want to come and help Paul, but she kept asking me. So Paul asked me, and I came on a Saturday, 4 conferences ago. As I was there, I asked him, what do you want me to do? He says, do nothing, walk around, play like security, and in the afternoon, I have a very important task for you. So I did that. When the afternoon came, he took me outside. There was a barrel of oil, those 55-gallon drums. And he says to me, your job is, I'm going to light a fire. And your job is to keep the fire going until the conference finishes. So I figured, okay, I can do that. How difficult that is. So he came in and he lit the fire. And I kept looking at the fire, and it was not doing as good, and the fire was dying. So there was wood next to and I kept putting wood in. And I put more wood, and the fire was dying. So there was a little flame at the bottom, and I always hear on TV, that wood burns. So I kept putting all the wood. Paul came out was like 30 minutes before the conference finished to check the fire. He said, how's the fire going? And I said, I don't know, it's not doing too good, but it's still, it's lit. And he looked at it and he says, this fire is suffocating. Now, I'm a city boy. I do know nothing about suffocating fires. I have never been to a bonfire, so I have no idea what he's talking about. So I said, Paul, what are you talking about? And he says, see these vents on the bottom? I open them up. You have to keep them open so the air goes in. So that's what he did. He opened them up, and they were flaming 5 feet in the air. I mean, it was so much fire. Then he says, now your job has changed. And I say, okay. He says, your job is to pray that we have enough wood because you have used it all. So I started praying for the fire. Then something very interesting happened. All of a sudden, the Lord caught my spirit. And I started praying in the spirit, not for the fire, for the women that were inside. And I remember that I was walking around the barrio praying. Someone pulled up in a car. And they must have been mistaken. They must have thought that I was an Indian. Because they see the fire, they see me going around praying. And, they were asking for direction because they were supposed to come and pick up someone. So I kept praying, and when the conference finished, I see the first women that came out, and they had to stand like 3 feet away. They came out with a piece of paper, and they had to throw the piece of paper on the fire. So they had to stand like 3 feet away and throw the paper on the fire. The first one came in, the second one, it was nice. Then there was a lady that I knew from the church. I knew because I have seen her. Her name was Sandra. Sandra was terminally ill. I don't know what disease she had. She used to sing in our choir. I never knew her name until after. She came in and she was walking in pain. I could see the pain in her eyes with each step she took. And when she went in, she couldn't get close to the fire. She didn't have the strength. She threw it in and she missed. I went to bend down together and I said, I get it for you. She said, don't touch that. She yelled, and we stood back. She bent down in her agony and pain. She took that piece of paper, and I don't know, but only by the grace of God, her hand did not get burned. She put it in to the fire. That moment, I saw a woman that was touched by God in one of these conferences. So from that point on, I volunteered and I have come to this conference because I know that some of you will be touched like that. Today, she's in eternity. I only met her twice, close like that. That time that I talked to her and another time that I took food to her house. But it has such an impact in my life. Because you see, when we give our time, it might, and sometimes people say, maybe it's better if I stay home and tired, I work all week. But you never know when God is going to show up and it's going to touch one of you. So today, on behalf of SOAR, I want to thank all of you that have given monetarily to put this together. This event costs money. This is not free from the city. So we want to thank all of you. We want to thank all of you that have come to make this happen. And most especially, I want to take this time to thank all of you that have volunteered. Over 60, there's over 60 of us here today that have given our time and our resources just to be here. You see, there is a moment in time. There is a moment in time that, it could go by, or God could really touch you. And that's a moment that it could really change your life. And in this conference, there's a lot of those moments. So I want to invite you all to our next conference. And I want to, on behalf of all of us here, we want to say thank you. Thank you. And my name is Mundo. It's not Pepe Sombrero. Goodbye.